Good morning, children. What is the poem we are seeing? The Ant and the Cricket. For grade 8, the poem which is going on is The Ant and the Cricket. I welcome you to the next session of English. Before going into the poem, to the next half of the poem, I'll give you a detailed explanation of what is happening in the poem. The poem is set in two halves. How it is set in two halves? I have told you about the characters in the poem. Who are the two characters in the poem? One character is the ant and the other character is the cricket. Who are the two characters? One character is the ant and the other character is the cricket. So you can see the first half of the poem is the conversation of a cricket to the ant. The next half of the poem is the conversation of an ant to the cricket. Am I clear, children? The first half of the poem is the cricket's conversation to the ant. You can see like the cricket will spend its time during the season of summer without doing any work, and during the season of winter it will go in seek of food and shelter. To whom it is moving? It is moving towards the ant to get some food and shelter. The first half of the poem centers around the cricket's conversation to the ant. And in the second half of the poem, what the ant is going to reply? What the ant is going to reply, or what is the reason the ant is giving here, is the second half of the poem. Have you got the two halves of the poem, children? So these are the two halves. First half, the cricket's conversation to the ant, and the second half, the reply of the ant. Come, let us go into the poem now. Shall we start reading the next stanza of the poem now? Here you could see the ant is speaking to the cricket. Can you find the ants are speaking to the cricket here? What the cricket is asking? The cricket is asking for food and shelter. And now we are going to see what is the reply given by the ants. Shall we start reading the poem? It is a very simple poem. When you read the poem, you will come to understand what it is given there. Says the ant to the cricket. Now the ant is replying to the cricket. I am your servant and friend. How the ant is starting to reply? I am your servant and friend. But we ants never borrow. We ants never lend. We ants never borrow. We ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by? But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by? When the weather was warm, quoth the cricket, not I. Quoth the cricket. The meaning of the word quoth is the meaning of the word quoth. So this word quoth is used in Old English. Here the meaning of the word quoth is said. Shall we read the next stanza again? Says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by? When the weather was warm, quoth the cricket, not I. You can understand from the lines which is given here what is the reply of the ant. Now I'll start explaining the poem for you. The ant and the cricket. Says the ant to the cricket. Says the ant to the cricket. That is the reply of the ant to the cricket. What is the reply? I am your servant and friend. The ant is replying that he is the friend of the cricket and he is the servant of the cricket. This shows the character of the ant. We have already seen in previous stanza, the ant is addressed as miserly ant. Okay, miserly ant means poor little creature who is always ready to serve someone. That is the character of the ant. Says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend. But, see this line, what the ant is telling. But we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. Okay, very good principle of ants, no? They will never borrow, they will never end. What do you think about this principle of ant children? They will never borrow and they will never lend anything. They don't have the quality of borrowing and they don't have the quality of lending. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lend nothing? But tell me, dear cricket, did you lend nothing? But tell me, dear cricket, did you lend nothing by? Again and again I am repeating the same line in order to show you an emphasis that now the ant is asking the cricket, dear cricket, did you lay nothing? Did you store anything during the season of summer? Did you store anything during the season of summer? When the weather was warm. When the weather was warm? During the summer season, the weather was warm. Did you store anything at that time? Yes. So here the ant is questioning the cricket. Quoth the cricket. What quoth means I have already told you. Said the cricket. What is the reply given by the cricket over here? Not I. I did not do anything. I did not save anything. I did not collect food and I did not store anything during the season of winter. You can see the ant is starting to speak by a very kind statement telling that the ant is the servant and friend of the cricket, but they have a principle for themselves. They will never borrow things, they will never lend things. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay anything? Again it is addressing the cricket as, dear cricket, don't you store anything for the winter season? You did not work during the warm season? The cricket is giving the answer as, quoth the cricket, not I. I did not save anything. So the cricket is accepting that I did not save anything. Here, when you see the principle of the ant children, do you borrow things from your friends? And do you lend things to your friends? It should happen. Okay. We can tell that the principle of the ant is very good. But see to that when your friend or when your neighbor or some people in the society, they are in need of something, have the quality of lending things to others. Instead of borrowing, you can lend your things. Try to be the person who give things to others. Okay. And one more thing also I can tell you here, like if you are going to be so sincere in your work that you will never borrow from others and you will never be in a situation of asking help from others. This you can practice in your lifetime. This is not the principle which you are going to learn only for today. This can be practiced for the whole lifetime. Don't have the quality of borrowing too much, okay? And try to be a lender, try to help others. But don't try to be a borrower to the maximum extent. So this is what we are learning from the life of the ants. Next, principle of ant, that is what we have discussed. And in the previous class itself, I have told you about the poetical devices. We have come across the rhyme scheme, personification, alliteration. Don't we, children? Yes, we have come through personification, alliteration, and I have introduced you the rhyme scheme. Here you could see one more poetical device. What is a poetical device? Anaphora. What is a poetical device? Anaphora. Come on, repeat with me. What is a poetical device? It is anaphora. Okay. Anaphora is a poetical device. And what is this poetical device? Read this line. But we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. So I have highlighted you using some red color over here. The same words, we ants never, and again it is getting repeated here, we ants never. So this is a poetical device. When repetition of words is happening, that is called as anaphora. Am I clear, children? What is a poetical device, the figure of speech anaphora called as? Repetition of words. Whenever you see a repetition of words, that is called anaphora. You may have a question now. Ma'am, what is the difference between anaphora and alliteration, ma'am? Alliteration is the same sounding letters. Okay, same sounds. Here we have the exact repetition of the same words. You can see the exact repetition of the same words. In this way, anaphora is different from alliteration. Are you clear, children? How alliteration is different from anaphora? Yes, alliteration means the sound of letter, first letter will be the same. Here you could see the repetition of the same words. Are you clear with this? Okay. Now we are going to enter into the other stanzas now. Have you understood till the previous thing, children? Here, who is talking with whom? Says the ant to the cricket. How the ant is starting to address here? I am your servant and your friend. But they have a principle. What is that principle? They will never borrow and they will never lend things. And he asked a question to the cricket. What is that question? He asked a question to the cricket. What is the question he is asking? Dear cricket, don't you save anything during the warm season? The cricket said, not I. This is the reply given by the cricket, the poor cricket who is having nothing to eat. And again I have told you about the principle of ants. We ants never borrow, we ants never lend. So here there is a poetical device that is called as anaphora. Anaphora means repetition of words. Are you clear with this, children? Yes. Shall we start reading the next stanza of the poem now? Okay. So now we are going to read the next stanza of the poem.